Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. So I moved pretty quickly in replacing my Indian Chieftain after it was totaled in an accident, and I actually switched over to a Harley. When I did all my test rides, there was only two bikes that I really enjoyed: the Indian Chieftain and the Harley Heritage Classic. Of course, I did test ride on the 114, which was really fun. But I ended up buying a 107. I'm going to show you some video of that pretty soon, because really the 107 has plenty of power. I don't need the 114. It would be nice, but I don't need to spend that kind of money right now. The two big reasons that I switched to Harley, and they're pretty obvious. One is the availability of aftermarket parts. I had so much trouble getting a highway crash bar set for my Indian Chieftain. I ended up having to go to Indian because I couldn't get a good set anywhere else. And of course, we all know when you buy from Indian or Harley, you pay out the nose. I don't have that problem with Harley. There's so much availability of aftermarket parts out there, so that's not going to be an issue. And of course, the other reason to switch over to Harley was for the dealer network. I think I have at least 4 Harley dealers within an hour of my place, and maybe more, maybe 5. There's one Indian dealer within an hour of my place, and they were not very customer friendly. They just did not do well by me at all. So those are the two big reasons I switched to Harley. And when I did all the test rides I did, there were only 2 bikes that I really enjoyed: the Indian Chieftain and the Harley Heritage. So when my Indian Chieftain was totaled, I switched to the Harley Heritage, because there was not an Indian Chieftain available of the base model that I had. There was not another one available within my price range. So anyway, I'm going to switch over to the other view on my camera, and we're going to talk about this bike. I picked it up last night. Really happy with it so far. All right, so here she is, 2020 Harley Heritage. A couple of things on this bike. It originally had the heel shifter, and when I test rode it, I just did not like that at all, so I had them take it off. They adjusted the bars a little bit. They were kind of angled down a little bit. I had them put them back up to where they normally are. I enjoy that high, kind of almost an ape hanger feel. And I love the pinstriping on this bike. This was done by the previous owner, but it's very cool. So the previous owner apparently did not change out the stock pipes. I'm going to be doing that. And I'm also probably going to be getting a different windshield. I did some tests. Well, I rode home last night on the highway and did get a little bit of wind buffeting once I hit about 70 miles an hour. So I'm probably going to get another windshield, maybe a Freedom or something like that, that has a bit of a flare on it to get the wind over my head a little bit more. But other than that, super happy with the bike. It's so much lighter than the Indian. It's definitely lower. I've already scraped pegs on it. That's something I'm going to have to get used to. The other thing I got to get used to is the stand. It's so much easier to kick the stand down than on the Indian Chieftain. The Indian Chieftain, the stand is really long and super hard to reach for me. So there's definitely some muscle memory things I've got to get used to on here. But anyway, we're going to start her up, and obviously with the caveat that I'm definitely going to be putting different slip-ons on this bike. Haven't decided what yet. If you have any thoughts on that, what I think I should do, leave a comment below. I'm looking at Vance & Hines or S&S with the quiet baffles initially. The other one I've looked at is Tab Performance with the 2 1/4 baffles, or the 1.75 baffles, although they're barely above stock in terms of volume. So I want a little bit more volume. I don't want a lot. I just really want a little bit more low-end rumble on the bike. It does, as they say online, does sound like a sewing machine. So there she is, folks. I'm going to go for a ride for an hour or two and just see what the comfort level's like, see if there's anything else other than the windshield that I need to replace, see how the seat feels for me. And oh, the other thing I forgot to mention on this bike, it has heated grips. Came that the previous owner got a really good deal on this bike. It's a 2020 for $16,500 with, I mean, heated grips, and it's definitely the least expensive one I could find as far as 2020 and up. I decided to go a minimum of 2020 because I heard that with the Milwaukee 8 engines, you wanted to go 2020 because of the oil slumping problems or whatever with 17 to 19 years. I don't know, maybe that's not really an issue, but anyway. So yeah, super happy, heated grips, and before my big next trip, probably next year, I'll definitely put a sissy bar on and get a sissy bar bag, but I can wait until next year for that. So excited about this. We're going to go for a ride and see how it feels after a bit of a longer time in the saddle. Take care, everyone.